When the richest man in town died, the local reporter asked his pastor, "How much did he leave?" The pastor replied, "All of it." It's okay, you don't have to laugh. In the words of Dr. Billy Graham, the late Dr. Graham, you never see a hearse pulling a U-Haul trailer. Koheleth says in the first reading today from the book of Ecclesiastes, all things are vanity. The Hebrew word used here for vanity means something without substance, something like a puff of smoke. If you read the book of Ecclesiastes, you get the impression that the author enjoyed all the best things in life: pleasure, wealth, power, knowledge. Yet he found nothing of lasting value or satisfaction. The conclusion of this book tells us to enjoy each day as it comes and not become too attached to anything this world has to offer. It was a practical way of looking at life, a balanced way of living life, considering the fact that the Jewish faith at this time in history had not yet come to believe in the existence of heaven or hell, reward or punishment. They believed in a kind of existence after death that was rather vague, uncertain, unclear. With whatever information he had, Koheleth's conclusion to just enjoy each day as it comes was the best idea anybody could come up with. But Jesus had more to offer. Jesus offers us something that is lasting. Jesus calls the rich farmer a fool in today's parable because the father thought he was set for life. The farmer thought he was set for life. He had all that he needed. He was wealthy in worldly goods, but he did not grow rich in the sight of God. The word for fool here means someone limited thinking, someone without good sense. St. Paul gives us the same message in today's second reading. Think of what is above, not what is of the earth. In the parable Jesus gives us, there are a few comments he made about greed and how dangerous it is. Greed certainly is dangerous. It is one of the capital sins and gives rise to other things like murder, cheating, stealing, lying, quarreling, fighting, and even more, war. It doesn't sound as if the farmer did any of these things. It sounds as if he made his fortune by good weather and good old-fashioned hard work. Now, is Jesus saying to us that it is sinful to be wealthy and successful? Absolutely not. It seems Jesus is saying that it is a sin if we have as our main focus in life our security built on the things of this world and only the things of this world, if we forget where our blessings come from. It's also a sin to be rich if our hearts are cold to the sufferings of those less fortunate than ourselves. The rich man in the parable forgot that he was not in control. He owned much. He thought he owned the future. He didn't. He didn't know that he had no future, and all his wealth would be left behind. Jesus tells us his priorities were all wrong. There are two remedies to help us keep our priorities in balance. First of all, the first in the Ten Commandments, the first commandment and the third commandment which tells us, keep holy the Lord's day, and the first, that I am the Lord your God, you should have no strange gods before you. By the way, I believe that that's probably the most fractured commandment of them all. Honoring and thanking God reminds us of who God is and that we owe God everything we have and everything we are. Secondly, there's a remedy to heal us, to help us not forget about the needs of others. That is called tithing. Giving away some of our money reminds us that it is not all ours. 10% was required of the Jewish people. Now, this keeps us aware of what we have and that it has been given to us in the first place. Oh, but you say, I earned it. Well, maybe so, but where did the health, the talent, the energy, the education, the smarts, the opportunities, where did they come from? That is what it's all given to us. We do have to provide for ourselves and for our families, and we have to save for that proverbial rainy day. But we can't become totally selfish either. That's called greed. We have to keep things in balance. Balance is the key to a genuinely holy and happy life. It keeps the proper perspective. You've probably heard this little story before, but I think it's a fitting conclusion to this homily and of today's readings. An American tourist traveling in Europe paid a visit to a very famous old wise rabbi who lived there. The American was surprised when he saw how simply the man lived. In a single room, with only books and a table and a chair. Rabbi, where is all your furniture? Asked the tourist. Where is yours? The rabbi asked. The American tourist responded, my furniture? I'm only passing through here. The wise rabbi responded, and so am I. God is good, and all the time,